Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can create email automations with Mailerlite. If you do not yet have a Mailerlite account, I will leave a link in the description that will allow you to sign up to Mailerlite for free. Once you are on this page, all you have to do is click on sign up, and then you can go through and create your free Mailerlite account. Now, with that being said, to create an automation on Mailerlite, all we have to do is, of course, open up Mailerlite, and then from here, go to automation on this left-hand side. So we click into this, and then once the automations area loads up, we just click into a new automation. In here, we can then choose the template that we would like to use if you do want to use any of them. However, I would not recommend this, and it's always a better idea to start from scratch. But essentially, we can go in and preview these, but really these are not very helpful at all, as we want to be customizing this ourselves. So all we want to do is go up to the top and click Start from Scratch. We can then choose an automation name. So as an example, I can go in here and let's call this GeForce North Welcome Sequence. And then we can click on Start Building once we have a name. In the automations area, the very first thing that we need to do is set up a workflow trigger. So essentially what this means is what has to happen for this email sequence to start, for somebody to start receiving these emails. So we can click into this, and then on the right hand side, we have the trigger right here. So we have a few different options. We have when somebody joins a group or a list, when somebody completes a form, when they click on a link, when they update a field, any of these options. For the first email sequence that we are creating, we always want to set this to when they join a group. So we click into this, and then we can select the group or email list that they have to join to be added to this sequence. So I'm going to click down and then select my main email list, which is this ebook list, and then we can click on save. Just like that, we have this set up, and it now says when a subscriber joins my email list, they will be added into this automation. So from here, to add steps into this and build this automation out, we click on this plus icon right here, and then we can choose what we want to do. So we have emails where we can send out an email. We have delays where we can say send an email, then we can add a delay of maybe 24 hours. Then we can send another email. So it just breaks the emails up. So let's start out with the email. This is very basic, and we just click in, and this is now going to send them out an email. So they join the list, they get sent an email. From here, on the right hand side, we can then go over and choose the email name. So let's just call this email 1. We can then choose a subject, the sender name, the sender email, and then in here, we can go through and actually create the email. So we can click in, go to the template gallery as an example. We can choose one of these emails and then go through and set this up. I'm not going to go into detail with how we actually create an email. If you would like to see that video, I've already created it and I will leave it in the description. So we basically can edit the email right here, and then we can add this into our automation. So email 1 has now been added. We can then go down, and now we might want to add a delay. So a delay is just going to be a gap between these two emails. So to show you how this works, if I just went right here and I didn't add a delay, and I just added a second email, and then I go through and create this, essentially what this is going to do is this is just going to send both emails out at the same time. So this is why having a delay is so important. So we can add a delay, and then on the right hand side, we can choose wait 1 day and click on save. And now we can go in and add this second email. So let's call this email 2. Then we can go in and design this once again. This time, let's choose this template. And once that is loading in, this is how you can build out the most simple email sequence in terms of we just send an email, we wait a certain amount of time, send another email, we wait, send another email. You get the idea. We can just send this out, and that's how we can create a basic autoresponder. Alternatively, we can really take this to the next level with adding in something like a condition. Because with a condition, this is where we can segregate our email list and we can start sending out different emails to different people depending on the actions that they take. So the first point that we might want to do, or the first segregation we might want to create, is figuring out, is this person active or are they inactive? Now, this is just an example. If I was actually creating this myself, I might send out 5 emails, 6 emails, 7 emails to get some more data before I do a segregation. But to show you how we could set up a segregation with just these 2 emails, we could go in here and add a condition. Now, for the condition, we can go in and choose from a bunch of different things. And in here, we can now go up and set this condition. So we can choose if any of these rules apply or if all of these rules apply. So when we set this up, we can say if they have all of the rules and only if they have all of them, then this applies. Or if they just have one of these rules, then this is going to apply. And if you don't understand this, don't worry, it will make sense as I go through and create this. Next, we have the condition. So we can go down and usually the main one you will want to use is workflow activity. And it basically means anything that happens on this workflow. So now I could go down and I basically want to create this condition to find out who is active and who is inactive. So I'm going to say, if they didn't open any of these emails, they are inactive. If they opened 1 or 2, then they are active. So we could go down here into workflow activity and say email 1 right here. And we can say if this was opened. So if email 1 was opened, then we can add another condition and we could say workflow activity again, email 2 was opened. And now this at the top should make more sense. So if I wanted both of the emails to be opened, so they have to open email 1 and 2 to be classed as active, then we would set this to all. If I go to any, this switches to all. So if they opened email 1 or 2, then once again, they will be active. So we now have this set up. We can click on save. And in here, it's now going to send them down a different path. So if they opened either of these emails, they get a check. If they didn't open any, they get a cross. So in here, we can now use the action tab and we can basically add them to a new group. So we go action right here and we say, if they did open these emails, we can go to define action and then we want to move them to a new group. And we are going to say move from this list into a new list that we will call active. So we can call this active and create this new group. Then the other way, if they didn't open these emails, we can go in for an action, click into this, and then we can say move to groups, move from this list into this new list that we are going to call inactive. Perfect. So we can now set this up and we could now go down here and we could basically, for the people who are inactive, we could maybe send a few more emails that are more spaced out, basically saying, hey, we've seen you've been inactive. Are you actually interested in this? So as an example, let's just send out one. Let's say that we send this email and this email basically says, are you active or are you inactive? Then we could go here and add a new condition. And instead of just opening this email, we want to find out if this person really cares because it doesn't look like they care so far. So instead of just saying they need to open this email, we can maybe say they need to click the email. They need to click a link on the email. So for the condition, we could go for workflow activity again. And then email 3 hasn't been properly set up like these two have. So I'll just select this email to show you. And then we could say, had a specific link clicked or had any link clicked. So let's go had any link clicked. And then we can click on save. And then if they clicked the link in this email, then we can say they did. So we can once again go action. And then in here, we can move to group, move from inactive to active. And then if they didn't click the link, then we are not going to do anything here. Maybe we can just delay this. We can click in, we can delay this by 1 week. And then we can maybe try another email to see if they are active, and you get the idea. For the active group, we could just go in and then send them more emails, go in, add more delays, and we can really continue with the email list down here. So those are the main points that you need to know, especially as a beginner when building out an automation on Mailerlite. With just those tools, you will be able to go through and create relatively complex email marketing sequences with the knowledge that you now have. So that is how you can create an email sequence on Mailerlite. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.